Grogan, the Executive Director of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for joining us today on an episode of our Leveling Up podcast. Now, if you've tuned into the show in the past, you may have noticed that the show's taken on a couple different lives than what we're doing right now. So we used to have longer episodes prior to the pandemic. And then when the pandemic hit, we started doing our Leveling Up social distancing series. You can check out all of those episodes. There are plenty of them on there. And those are all on greateruticachamber.org or wherever you digest your podcasts on Apple, Google, Stitcher. Go ahead and subscribe to the show, and you can see all of our past episodes and our upcoming episodes. And the next batch of episodes that we have are really exciting because we are highlighting our Business of the Year finalists for 2020. So that event is going to be happening as a live televised special this year. It's going to be on Tuesday, December 15th on CBS-Utica from 7 to 8 p.m. So definitely mark your calendars for that. You are not going to want to miss the show. Not only will we be featuring all of our finalists, we'll also unveil our winners on that show on December 10th. So for now, what we're doing is we are spotlighting all of our finalists on our podcast. And today I have with me one of those finalists who is Shannon from Hospice. Shannon, welcome.
Hi, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
And Shannon, so you also were a guest on the Leveling Up social distancing series. So we should mention that if people want to get to know you more, they can go back and look at that episode too.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think we did that in early spring. It seems like forever ago.
It definitely does. So today we're here to talk about something a little bit different though, which is the fact that you're a finalist for the Business of the Year Awards. So first off, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very excited about this.
Yeah. And so Shannon, tell us about your title with Hospice. And then if anybody hasn't heard of Hospice before, give us a whole overview of what does Hospice do for our community?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. As Megan mentioned, my name is Shannon Cayea. I'm the CEO of Hospice and Palliative Care. And Hospice has been around for approximately 45 years in the community. We serve all of Oneida, Herkimer, and Madison counties. And we provide quality end-of-life care to patients who are suffering with serious illness or terminal illness in the community. Mm-hmm. We've served approximately 1,000 patients across 3,700 square miles this year.
Wow. And you and I had talked earlier about, how the pandemic has really, had a great deal of an effect on hospice and what you guys do in palliative care. So I want to touch on that a little bit because I do think that is just, it really folds into your mission and what you do. And I think this has, really been a tough time on you guys and your staff, just given the nature of the pandemic and the population it's affecting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've really had to be resilient through all of this and find an effective way of continuing to function. The mission of Hospice is to provide quality, compassionate, end-of-life care. Mm-hmm. And COVID hasn't recognized that any different. Mm-hmm. So we have continued going into people's homes throughout the community. We've had to put some parameters, obviously, into that. Mm-hmm. But what we're finding is that as people are leaving the nursing facilities or leaving hospitals, they're trying very hard to get their family members back home. And we want to be a part of that so that we can continue to drive our mission in the community.
Mm-hmm. Now, how is hospice doing in general? Obviously, the COVID, portion of it we've just covered, but in general, how's the organization doing?
So I'm proud to say that we have served several COVID positive patients in the community since the beginning of the pandemic, mm-hmm. And none of our staff have been impacted by that. Mm-hmm. And I really believe this is because our staff has taken it seriously as far as going into homes fully covered in PPE to continue to be safe, about educating each other, and also about respecting the CDC guidelines so that mm-hmm. we're ensuring that not only are our patients safe, their families, but our staff is safe so they can go home at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. That's so important. And I think it really helps their morale too, knowing that they've been successful in keeping everybody safe.
Yeah. And, we've had to find creative ways of still trying to stay connected. We do not have our field staff back in the office to date. Mm-hmm. Our office staff are working Monday through Friday. Any person that needs our service will not find an interruption. Mm-hmm. We continue to service, the community just as we always have. But bringing the staff together so that they can connect via Zoom or Google Meet, it has been really just so much to us this year.
Yeah. Now, you've already mentioned a few things that I would consider something, things to be very proud of. Is there anything else, with hospice that you're particularly proud of throughout all of this that shines through other than the examples that you've already given?
Yeah, I think that the thing that I'm most proud of is that the staff has really pulled together. Despite everything that's happening, we continue to service the community. Our census in both our AIM palliative care and our hospice program have grown this year remarkably. And also we're providing telehealth visits for our palliative care patients. So, we really have a lot of very interesting things going on. So despite what's happening in the community, we continue to persevere.
Yeah, definitely. And so I should mention, you guys were actually a finalist for Business of the Year last year as well. So what does it mean to you to be a finalist for Business of the Year? I mean, when you think of so we have around 575 plus members in the community and so many great businesses and organizations, and you guys are being recognized among the top of those businesses and organizations. So what does that mean to you?
I think the biggest thing is that we really appreciate that the Chamber is recognizing us as a prominent player in the Mohawk Valley region. We've been here, as I said, for 40 plus years, and we continue to strive and we continue to make gains. And I think the biggest thing is that we continue with our impact in the community. So I'm proud that we're being recognized again, and I think it's really because of the fantastic staff that we have working at hospice.
And speaking of your staff, I know, you are always, as a CEO, you always seem very appreciative of your staff, and all the conversations I've talked to you, whether it be on the podcast or through our other conversations. Anybody else you'd like to thank while we're on the show? Just, I know it's been a tough year for everyone.
Yeah, and thank you for the opportunity to do that. We have fantastic board of directors who support us day in and day out. Our development council, who has helped us with some fundraising. Our fundraising this year was not the same. And we have phenomenal donors in the community. So without the donors through like our sponsorships and legacies, and also family members that have used our services, we could not continue to do the quality work that we do. So it really does take a village, and under our roof, a team and a village has made the success that we've had.
Absolutely. Now, if somebody's listening to the show today and they really, feel strongly about supporting hospice, which, I don't know how you could not, because the work you guys do is just so fantastic. How could they get involved? How can they be supportive? I know on the last show, we talked about your events that you typically do. You just mentioned those as well. Kind of a difficult environment for us to do those nice fundraising events that we're used to. But how else might the community be supportive of hospice?
Sure. We post all of our events on our website, which is www.hospicecareinc.org. And we also have a Facebook page that's very, very active. Despite the events being canceled this year or not looking the same, we have been successful in doing the butterfly release. We did Epicurean, and we are planning to do the Light Up a Life. So if you visit those pages, the information will be on there. They may look a little different, but in the end, they're still good quality things that we'd love to have people involved in. Our bereavement services continue. We're doing support groups. Those are listed on the website. And also we're still utilizing volunteers. The volunteers in the community are a huge part of hospice. And although they can't go into the homes and sit with our patients, they're making phone calls, they're running errands, and they're still managing to do some clerical work while the weather's nice outdoors. So
that's great.
We're very appreciative of all that.
Good. Okay. So some great ways to support you guys. As far as, the future of hospice, are there any special projects that you guys are working on?
We're continuing with our marketing campaign. I think the biggest project is that we want to make sure that the community understands that they don't have to wait until that last moment when they're in a panic to call hospice. It's really about determining the quality of the end of life, not the quantity. So if we could get the community to understand that we could come in sooner and help alleviate some of the problems that they're having or some of the pain that their family members are experiencing. That's the mission behind our marketing campaign. So I think in the coming year, you're going to see a lot more of us in public.
That's really good to hear. And then, as far as the future, I know you mentioned the marketing campaign and some of the great things you guys are doing. Anything you're particularly excited about personally that you want to share?
No, I don't think at this point. I think I just need to reiterate how excited I am that the staff continues to do such a fantastic job day in and day out, and I couldn't be more proud of them.
Great. Okay. Anything else you want to share with everybody, Shannon?
No, thank you. I'm so excited, and I really appreciate the recognition for this.
Absolutely. Well, you guys heard right from Shannon all about hospice. And actually, Shannon, before we go, one more thing. I know we were going to put it on the screen, but in case anybody is listening to the podcast as the audio version, where can they go to find out more information about hospice?
Sure. We have a website. It's www.hospicecareinc.org, or you can call our location at 315-735-6484. We'd be glad to talk to you.
Great. Okay. Well, thanks so much, Shannon, for sharing all this again with us. And like I mentioned a couple times on today's show, you can go back and check out the other show that Shannon and I did earlier in the spring to learn more about hospice and all of their fantastic programs. And we hope you guys will join us again on Tuesday, December 15th from 7 to 8 p.m. on CBS-Utica, where we will be doing our 1-hour Business of the Year television special, and we will unveil all of our winners at that event. So thank you again, Shannon, and we won't see you on the 10th, but we hope you'll tune in on the 10th
we'll join you on
to find out if hospice has won our Business of the Year award. So thank you, Shannon.
Thank you, Megan, and the Chamber. We truly appreciate it.